I want to welcome you to this press conference and to say to you that we do not take your time for granted. We appreciate that you would spend it with us. These events to update our people are most critical. This government is at your service, and it is because of you why this administration is here. And therefore, it is incumbent upon us to make sure that we stay in constant communication with you so that you can have first-hand knowledge of what the government is doing, your government is doing, to ensure that we remain transparent and open to you, our people. And as we gather here for our monthly Prime Minister's press conference with the cabinet ministers, I stand before you with a profound sense of responsibility and determination. Our beloved nation of St. Kitts and Nevis faces its fair share of challenges, but I firmly believe that by coming together, hand in hand with the government, your government leading, we can overcome any obstacle that lies in our path, and of course, with God at our side. Before I delve into the pressing matters at hand, I want to emphasize the unwavering commitment of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party administration to lowering the cost of living for all of our citizens. In this post-COVID environment, with inflation, and we see fuel prices rising, transport costs rising, we as a government, your government, we are taking it very seriously and doing what we have to do to lower the cost of living for you, our beloved citizens. We have taken significant measures to ease the burden and to make a positive impact on all of your daily lives. Today I stand here to remind you of the transformative measures we have undertaken to alleviate the financial strain faced by our families here in the Federation. We have granted concessions on school supplies, and it is extended up to September 30th, 2023. And so as the new term begins, most likely in September, we want to ensure that families are in the best position to get what is needed for their children to go to school. This ensures that our children have the resources they need to thrive academically, and this, we think, would have a tremendous positive impact. And as we put that policy out, we are looking at even more ways in which we can work on it to make sure it continues to benefit our people even more. And so the feedback from our people, from your people, that feedback is critically important. Our commitment to your well-being does not end with just the concessions, as pointed out. We have taken decisions and decisive action to address the rising cost of food, recognizing the impact it has on every household. Shipping charges for food containers have been capped at the pre-COVID-19, at the pre-COVID rates, and this is an effort to stabilize food prices and to give much needed relief to our people. In addition, we continue to monitor to see how the food prices would move and to be ready to make any other adjustments that are necessary to make sure that our people get the best price that we can have. But in speaking to food, our food security is critically important, and that is why the Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, is pushing for the 2025 agenda, and that is to decrease imports, food imports, from 25% by 25% by 2025. And so we are pushing that agenda, and the hope is we have more food for our people, more locally grown, and at a more affordable cost. Furthermore, we have also reduced the excise tax significantly so on gasoline, because transportation is critically important, and that would make it more affordable at the pump as well. So the government has taken a number of these critical measures to make sure that we deal with the cost of living in St. Kitts and Nevis. In our commitment to economic recovery, We have reduced corporate income tax and unincorporated business tax, as you know, one from 33% to 25%, and the latter from 4% to 2%. We want to foster a favorable environment for business and to facilitate growth and, of course, job creation. We are resolutely focused on reigniting economic growth and fostering a prosperous future for all of our people. And so our businesses are being supported in this significant way. And these are just a few of the examples of steps we have taken. But rest assured, we are actively exploring additional avenues to alleviate the cost of living and bring relief to each and every one of you on a daily basis. Yesterday, in collaboration with Senior Minister, the Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, also we had officials from Customs and Excise Department, Consumer Affairs, representatives of major food suppliers here and traders here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and we sought solutions to reduce the cost of food. This was the government. The government, of course, brought all stakeholders to the table, and in meaningful discussion, what are we going to do further to make sure that we control the cost of food for our people here and basic goods. The government remains resolute in finding the right measures that will benefit both the people and these businesses. We are in this together, and together we can control the areas within our reach. This is a responsive government. Additionally, our commitment to healthcare remains firm. Just 2 days ago, I visited the proposed site for a modern, state-of-the-art, climate-smart general hospital that will revolutionize healthcare delivery in our federation. Climate change poses unique challenges, and it is essential that we invest in a hospital capable of withstanding its adversities. Through cooperation between the governments of St. Kitts and Nevis and the Republic of China, Taiwan, this vision will become a reality. Remember, this was a major campaign commitment, and in less than a year, we are already on the way to deliver that hospital to our people. This will also open up opportunities for health tourism. We can serve the neighboring countries around us. And let me just add that in healthcare, we have made significant strides. And one of the things we are pushing for is for St. Kitts to become one of the safest places on earth to get pregnant and have a baby. We are pushing for that. We are on our way. It's a major accomplishment that we can have in just less than 1 year of having the government, this administration, putting the right policies in place. So apart from building a new structure, we want to deliver services that will benefit all of our people and put St. Kitts among the best in the world. As I mentioned, construction developments, I wish to mention that the Robert Bratcher Museum is well on its way. I visited the site yesterday, and I'm already impressed by the progress thus far. My fellow cabinet colleagues will share more, of course, on the progress of your government and what your government has done thus far in the various other ministries. In terms of national security, we will very soon, on July 17th, resume police training. We will have at least 30 new recruits who will begin intense and focused training in the general duties of a police officer, self-defense, evidence and procedure, weapons training, among other key areas. And of course, we are upgrading the curricula to make sure that it responds to our national security needs. There's need for the security forces to continue to focus on the established pillars of policing, which include fostering a community and police relationship, intelligence-led policing, and predictive policing. To do this, manpower is necessary. In addition to the new recruits, the ministry is focused on improved collaborations with local, regional, and international security agencies such as the Defense Force locally, the RSS, and as far as collaborating with the FBI. We are making significant strides in these areas thus far. So I want to thank the Commissioner and the Commander and their, of course, staff for the excellent job that they have been doing. I want to also point out that Dr. Powell is here as a special advisor to national security, he has been working tremendously hard with our security forces and have been putting a number of initiatives in place to ensure that we continue to secure our nation, St. Kitts and Nevis. And so I'm very pleased to announce that a number of new initiatives are being put forward, a number of new areas are being established within our security forces, and we are already seeing the tremendous impact that is having. As I've said before, we will do all we have to do to make sure that security here in St. Kitts and Nevis is dealt with by methods that are sustainable and can, of course, withstand whatever challenges we might have. And we have started those significant things and are partnering. As I've said, we are also implementing our strategy of dealing with crime and violence from a public health perspective. I want to point out a number of critical areas where we're doing that. For example, the OASIS program, the Boys of Excellence Initiative, the Explorers, the Cadets. And not only that, we have brought the Scouts and we have brought a task force together to ensure the implementation of this. And we are the first in the CARICOM that I know that we have gone further to establish the task force. And so we are very, very serious about our national security and to make sure we create a system that is long-lasting and effective. We are also looking to have more experts in our national security apparatus in addition to who we have presently. So I want to say that we are well on our way. So earlier this month, I want to say again, I met with high-level officials from the RSS, the United States of America, as well, where we met a number of their agencies, including the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement, Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA, and the FBI, as mentioned before. And so we are tapping into resources to make sure that St. Kitts and Nevis is, of course, secured. I want to further state that in addition to these collaboration, we have now a new patrol boat here where training is taking place because our borders are a significant issue. We are also going to receive onshore radar in short order where we can detect any vessel that is coming into our waters here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And that will help tremendously with the transshipment of drugs and guns across our region, and that is reaching St. Kitts and Nevis, Let me point out that these collaborative efforts are indeed critical. I recently traveled to Trinidad, where again we had a presentation from the DEA as they are forming a vetting units. They are forming vetting units throughout the Caribbean. One will, of course, be with the OECS, where again we will increase our capacity to deal with the new challenges. So I want to say that we are taking this matter seriously, making the necessary investments of resources, and that would have, of course, its positive impact, which we are seeing already. So your government is serious about, additionally, mending the many socioeconomic issues that we might have. And these initiatives are just a few that I have mentioned. And of course, the colleagues at the table, they will mention more. So my fellow citizens and residents, I stand before you not only as your Prime Minister, but as a fellow countryman who believes in the collective power of our actions. Our journey to a better nation requires the active participation of each one of you. Let us continue to work hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, to build a brighter future for ourselves and the generations yet unborn, because together we can shape the destiny of our beloved St. Kitts and Nevis.